Let's cut the fluff. Getting rich is easy, but not for the weak. Not for those still waiting for motivation to strike. Getting rich is a decision followed by relentless execution. The system is built to reward value. If you solve problems, make things happen, or move faster than the average person, the money will chase you. The poor make excuses. The rich make moves. You scroll. They study. You sleep. They build. You don't need a degree. You need results. The internet put billion-dollar tools in your pocket, and you're using them to watch videos instead of making them. Why? Discipline is rare. That's why wealth is rare. But if you decide to be dangerous with your time, to own your mornings, master your craft, and monetize your skills, wealth isn't just possible, it's guaranteed. You're not stuck. You're just lazy. And that's the truth no one else wants to tell you. Money follows value, not luck. That's the truth the masses don't want to accept because it removes their excuses. It's easier to believe that the rich are lucky, born into money, or part of some exclusive club. It's comforting. It absolves you from responsibility. But here's the harsh reality: wealth is created when you solve problems, when you provide something other people need or desire, and when you do it better, faster, or more uniquely than anyone else. If you look at every successful person, at every millionaire, billionaire, or high-performing entrepreneur, they all have one thing in common. They gave value to the world, consistently and unapologetically. You don't have to invent the next iPhone or build a spaceship. That's the lie Hollywood and school drilled into you. You just have to understand what people want and deliver it with excellence. That's it. Learn a skill people pay for. Get damn good at it. Then package it, sell it, scale it. That's value. If you can help a business make more money, you'll always be in demand. If you can make someone's life easier, faster, safer, or more enjoyable, they will pay you. And once they pay you, you reinvest those earnings to multiply your impact, hire people, automate systems, build a brand. But if you're sitting on the sidelines saying, "I don't know what to do," you're not lacking opportunity. You're lacking hunger. In today's world, we have unlimited access to information. You can learn graphic design, sales, editing, digital marketing, or coding from your phone right now for free. That used to cost thousands. Now it's in your pocket. So when people say they're broke, what they're really saying is, "I haven't taken the time to become valuable." Here's what people misunderstand. Money is not emotional. It doesn't care about your story. It doesn't care where you come from. It flows to whoever earns it through leverage and value. If you're entertaining, money will follow. If you're skilled, money will follow. If you solve painful problems, money will chase you down. But if all you do is consume, scroll, binge, complain, then you've chosen to be a liability in a world full of creators. And liabilities don't get rich. They get stuck. There's no magic trick. But there is a formula: value, X scale, X consistency. Build a skill, offer it, then repeat. You don't need a big audience. You just need a reason to be paid. If 10 people pay you $500, that's a 5,000. Do that twice a month and you're at 6 figures. It's math. But you won't get paid until you stop acting like the world owes you something. It doesn't. But it will pay you very, very well if you give it something it needs. Luck is what the unprepared call other people's results. The truth is, money isn't hiding. It's waiting for someone like you to step up, focus, and offer real value. Excuses are the currency of the poor. People who stay broke aren't cursed. They're committed to their own limitations. They'll argue for them. They'll defend their mediocrity like it's an identity. Every time life challenges them to rise, they fall back on the same tired lines. I wasn't born rich. I don't have time. I didn't go to college. Or the classic, it's not that simple. But it is. It really is that simple. Not easy, but simple. You either make moves or you make excuses. You either get results or you explain why you don't. You can't do both. People cling to excuses because it protects their ego. Admitting you're not where you want to be because of your own decisions is brutal. But it's also liberating the moment you stop blaming your boss your parents, the economy, or your circumstances, you gain control. Because if you caused it, you can fix it. If you're the problem, then you're also the solution. The poor mindset needs a villain. It needs something external to point to, something to blame for why life is unfair. That's why so many people never escape. Their identity is built around being the victim. Rich people don't play that game. They see problems as puzzles to solve, not walls they can't climb. They take full ownership. If they fail, it's feedback. If they lose money, it's a lesson. If something doesn't work, they pivot, adjust, and come back stronger. They don't sit in the mud crying. They build a bridge and move. That's the separation. Not intelligence, not connections, not luck. It's mindset. It's how you respond when things go wrong. Excuse makers freeze. Winners adapt. If your first instinct is to blame someone or something else, you've already lost. That reflex keeps you broke. And it's dangerous because it feels right. It feels justified. But feelings don't make money. Execution does. Time is passing whether you move or not. Life doesn't pause because you're scared, overwhelmed, or tired. The world will pay you if you perform and ignore you if you don't. You either play the game or get played by it. If you want to rise, you have to kill the excuses. Cut them out like cancer. Be ruthless about it. When your mind says, I can't, you need to question it. Ask can't or won't. Most of the time, it's won't. You could wake up earlier. You could study more. You could work on your side hustle instead of watching Netflix. But you won't, and that's the truth people hide from. If you live in a time where opportunity is everywhere, information is free, and tools are at your fingertips, but you still choose to complain, then poverty isn't your punishment, it's your reward. It's what you earn when you prioritize comfort over growth. If you want to be rich, stop explaining why you can't. Start proving why you will. No one's coming to save you. But the second you kill your excuses, you become unstoppable. Discipline beats motivation every time. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you feel inspired, the next you don't. If you rely on motivation, you'll only work when you feel like it. And that's exactly why most people fail. They move based on emotion instead of execution. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up whether it's raining or shining, whether you're tired, frustrated, bored, or overwhelmed. Discipline is the weapon of the elite. It's what separates those who talk from those who build. Everyone has dreams. Everyone has goals. But very few people have the discipline to show up every single day and do the work, especially when it gets boring, hard, or thankless. Want to know why some people become rich and others stay average? It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's that one person kept moving while the other kept making excuses. Discipline is the muscle that makes you do it anyway. No audience, no applause, no hype. Just you and the work. When people say they lack motivation, what they really lack is structure. You don't wait to feel inspired. You train yourself to execute regardless of your emotional state. You create systems, routines, and habits that keep you moving forward even when your mind screams to quit. The successful don't always love what they do. They just respect the mission more than their mood. They know that consistency compounds. One day of discipline might not change your life, but 100 days in a row. That's power. That's transformation. That's when you become dangerous. The average person searches for hacks, quick fixes, or motivational speeches to light a temporary fire. But high performers light their own fire every day with routine. You don't need motivation to brush your teeth. You just do it because it's a non-negotiable. That's how your success habits should be. You eat clean, you train, you study, you build, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Discipline turns actions into identity. Once you identify as the kind of person who shows up no matter what, your entire life changes. There's freedom in discipline. It sounds like a paradox, but it's the truth. Most people think freedom is doing whatever you want, whenever you want. But that's chaos. That's what keeps people broke, unhealthy, and lost. True freedom comes when you control your mind, your time, and your habits. When you own your discipline, you own your destiny. No one can take that from you. They can steal your motivation, but they can't steal your consistency. Stop waiting for motivation to hit you like a lightning bolt. It's not coming. And even if it does, it won't last. Build discipline like a soldier trains for war. Daily, relentlessly, without negotiation. Wake up at the same time. Show up at the same time. Hit your targets. Track your progress. Do it until it becomes who you are. In the end, the disciplined always win. Not because they're better, but because they refuse to stop. Comfort is the silent killer of ambition. It lulls you into thinking everything is fine. That tomorrow will be the day you finally take action. That staying where you are isn't so bad. But comfort is a trap dressed as peace. It seduces you with laziness, numbs your hunger, and robs you of urgency. Most people aren't failing because they're incapable. They're failing because they're comfortable enough to tolerate a mediocre life. They aren't in pain, but they aren't growing either. They're in the worst place possible, stuck in the middle. Not suffering enough to change, not winning enough to be proud. That's the zone where dreams die slowly. You have to understand this comfort is addictive. It rewires your brain to avoid risk, to resist discomfort, to crave easy. But wealth doesn't live in easy. Growth doesn't come from ease. It's forged in the fire of struggle, challenge, and sacrifice. Every person who has ever created something great, a business, a body, a brand, a legacy, had to escape the gravitational pull of comfort. They chose pain, pressure, and persistence over pleasure because they knew that pain is temporary, but comfort makes you forget you were meant for more. You want to get rich, then get uncomfortable. Get up earlier than you want. Say no to things that give you short-term pleasure, but long-term stagnation. Put yourself in rooms where you're the dumbest person. Take the job that scares you. Launch the product you're unsure about. Move to the city where you don't know anyone if that's where the opportunity is. You don't get stronger by lifting what's easy. You grow by doing what stretches you. Comfort zones are coffins for hungry minds. Step out or get buried in yours. Here's what people never talk about. Comfort is expensive. It costs you time, it costs you dreams, it costs you the version of yourself you were supposed to become. While you're binge watching shows, someone else is learning a new skill. While you're sleeping in, someone else is building a side hustle. While you're playing it safe, someone else is risking it all and winning. That gap is created by comfort, and it grows wider every day you choose it. Eventually, you'll wake up and wonder why nothing changed. And it'll be because I didn't. This doesn't mean burn out or be reckless. It means recognize when your comfort is becoming your prison. Are your routines building you or breaking you? Are your habits designed for growth or for sedation? Be brutally honest with yourself. Audit your time. Audit your energy. The more comfort you chase, the further wealth moves away from you. Because success demands discomfort. It demands rejection, isolation, learning curves, and sacrifices. If you aren't willing to bleed a little now, you'll bleed forever financially. The truth is simple. You can have excuses or results. You can have comfort or growth. But you cannot have both. The moment you stop choosing what feels good and start choosing what's necessary, everything begins to shift. You won't always feel like doing it, but that's exactly why you must. Comfort won't make you rich. Discipline will. Relentless action will. Choosing pressure over pleasure will. If you want to escape the average life, you have to destroy the comfort that keeps you chained to it. Money is a byproduct of value. It doesn't come from manifesting. It doesn't come from hoping, begging, or waiting. It comes from solving problems. That's it. Every dollar in your bank account is proof that you've provided value to someone. And the more problems you solve, the more valuable you become. The problem is most people focus on what they want instead of what they give. They walk around saying, I want to be rich, but never ask, how can I serve who needs help? What problem am I uniquely built to solve? That's why they stay broke. They're self-centered instead of solution-centered. The market doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about results. You want to make money. Good. But ask yourself, who benefits when you win? If you can't answer that, you're not building value. You're building fantasy. People pay for clarity, speed, convenience, certainty, transformation. So stop thinking about what you doth deserve and start thinking about what you can deliver. The people who get rich don't sit around waiting for an opportunity. They create value first, and the money follows. It's cause and effect. You want the effect, become the cause. If you want to get rich, become obsessed with solving problems that matter. Don't chase trends. Chase pain points. Learn to listen to complaints. Every frustration is a market. Every inefficiency is an opening. Every moment someone says, "This sucks," "This takes too long," or "Why isn't there an easier way?" That's your signal. That's where value lies. And when you become the person who brings relief, who makes life easier, faster, smarter, more enjoyable, you become irreplaceable. You become valuable. And money flows to value like water finds gravity. The world rewards results. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need permission. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be useful. Money doesn't care if you have a degree, came from nothing, or failed 10 times. If you solve a problem, people will pay you. That's the rule, so stop consuming and start creating. Build things, test ideas, help people, track what works, get feedback, improve it, then scale it. That's how empires are built, not by luck, but by intentional service. You're one skill away, one perspective shift away from changing your entire financial reality. But you'll never find it if all you do is ask, "How can I get rich?" That's a selfish question. Start asking, "How can I make other people's lives better?" That's a powerful question. That's the question that turns employees into entrepreneurs, hustlers into kings. It flips the game. You stop chasing money and start attracting it. Because when your name becomes synonymous with value, you don't need to pitch. People come to you. Understand this value is the magnet. Money is the metal. You want more income? Increase your output. Learn faster, execute sharper, serve better. The world pays those who solve. Be the answer to someone's problem, and they'll gladly pay you over and over again. Don't wish for wealth. Build it, one solved problem at a time. Excuses are lies you tell yourself to stay the same. They sound reasonable. They sound logical. But at their core, they are nothing but permission slips to stay broke, weak, and average. Every time you say, "I don't have time," what you're really saying is, "I won't make time." Every time you say, "I don't know how," what you mean is, "I'm not willing to figure it out." Every excuse is a rejection of responsibility. And without responsibility, you will never have power. The harsh truth is that no one is coming to save you. No mentor, no secret strategy, no magic formula will do it for you. You have to decide that your life is your fault. And that's the most liberating decision you can ever make. When you blame your job, your parents, the economy, your past, or your circumstances, you're giving away your strength. You're giving away the only thing that can actually change your life: ownership. Because when it's your fault, you gain control. When it's your responsibility, you gain direction. You stop waiting and start moving. The man who owns his problems also owns his solutions. The man who owns his decisions owns his future. Excuses are what the average use to protect their comfort. Elimination of excuses is what the successful use to accelerate results. You can justify or you can multiply. You can explain why it didn't happen, or you can make it happen. But you can't do both. Excuses feel good in the moment. They protect your ego. They soften your failure, but they destroy your progress. They create a fake sense of safety while quietly eroding your potential. Each excuse chips away at your identity, and eventually you forget what you were even capable of. You become someone who talks big but moves small. Someone who dreams loudly but acts slowly. And the worst part is, you start to believe your own lies. If you want to get rich, if you want to dominate in life, then kill your excuses. Don't manage them. Don't reduce them. Eliminate them. Replace "I can't" with "How can I?" Replace "I don't know" with "I'll find out." Replace "I don't have time" with "It's not a priority." And if that bothers me, I'll change it. Own your gaps. Own your flaws. Own your mistakes. The person who can look in the mirror and say, it's all on me, is unstoppable because they never wait, they adapt. They don't whine, they win. Everyone's busy. Everyone's tired. Everyone has reasons to quit. But the winners don't care. They execute anyway. They don't look for sympathy. They look for results. They move forward regardless of how unfair, hard, or chaotic things are. And that's what makes them different. That's what makes them dangerous. They've declared war on excuses and replaced them with relentless action. You have two options: justify your position or change it. The first one makes you feel good temporarily. The second one makes you powerful permanently. Excuses are expensive. They cost you time, money, reputation, and dreams. So if you want to rise, if you want to lead, if you want to dominate, start by telling yourself the truth. And the truth is this: if it's meant to be, it's up to you.